Yes, well, it's a wonderful celebration again with so much goodwill. It's incredible how Victor Jara's representation brings so many people together.
One of the main lessons that we can take from the Latin American processes, revolutionary process, and from Ecuador in particular, is that at the core of our struggle needs to be the recovery of sovereignty.
Message from Hubert, direct from the jail in Colombia, where he's been rotting for 2 years, deprived of his medicines, deprived of all the things that people need to just live ordinary lives, for the single reason that he was organising agricultural strikes at the time of his arrest.
Ubicada en la ciudad de Bogotá, capital de la República de Colombia, extender un inmenso abrazo fraternal, solidario, a todos los que participan y organizan este festival en homenaje a uno de los íconos de la lucha social, de la lucha revolucionaria y de la música latinoamericana, como es el asesinado por el régimen de la dictadura de Pinochet, Victor Jara.
¡Venceremos todos!
Buscar en lo cotidiano lo sagrado, la belleza, hallar la alegría que se esconde entre dolencias.
I witnessed, and through interviews that we had to do for the film, the horrendous situation of displacement of people, killings, human rights violations in the country.
I think the important thing that I learned from being out there is how the resistance is so powerful. Ordinary people dedicate themselves to getting together as communities and organizing themselves.
Of all the terrible atrocities that have been committed in Colombia, when you travel through Colombia, what comes through is the humanity of people, the tremendous courage and ability to recover from this and have hope for the future.
When I was in Colombia with Peace Brigades International, I was accompanying some really fantastic grassroots women's organisations and human rights organisations, and I think that they could teach us a lot.
We must simultaneously serve suffering and beauty. The long patience, the strength, and the secret cunning such service calls for are the virtues that establish the very renaissance we need. Considered as artists, we perhaps have no need to interfere in the affairs of men. But considered as men, yes.
Well, the peace process in Colombia is absolutely important and strategic from the point of view of ensuring that there is peace in the region, and certainly so that the United States' possibilities to intervene in the region militarily or otherwise are reduced quite dramatically. And the use of the war against drug as justification for one, militarization, and two, intervention to destabilize regimes or governments the United States does not like is totally unacceptable.
The Great Globalization Trading Game is an activity for families, really, and it's about the madness of the world trading system, and by playing it as a game it allows people to understand the trading relationships between countries, and above all it's an emotional game because instead of learning about inequality you feel it. Your paper in Chile is copper. You have copper mines. And so as you mine the copper and you sell the copper into the world market, you get £30 for each one of those. Yes? But the bad news is your copper mines are owned by American multinationals. The rich country gets richer and richer and richer, whilst the poor country cannot develop. And we finished off the game with a short explanation of how fair trade works. Rather than charity, fair trading mechanisms within the globalized world system are a more productive way of trying to support communities.
No se me vaya a volar. Antes de grande el niñito, pollito lo sacará.
It's very important that we hold on to the dream of Victor Jara and the dream of Allende's Chile. We bring that representation into the here and now.
Victor Jara, someone who sang for the people, someone who mapped out their need, someone who taught we were equal with so many mouths left to feed. He died in a hail of bullets fired by those who perpetuate greed, but his voice has refused to be silenced, and within it a perennial seed. Victor Jara is singing, his words are strong and clear, Victor Jara is singing, his songs refuse to disappear. Victor Jara is singing in the hearts of those he touched. In the hearts of those he touched, he keeps on singing.
I think the key message from the Colombia Solidarity Campaign's point of view is that the British corporations such as BP and the big mining corporations, and actually other British companies as well, have been deeply involved in massive exploitation of Colombia's natural resources, and they are partially responsible for the huge humanitarian crisis which Colombia is in today.
One of the other reasons for me coming here was to make connections with other people from other parts of the world, because if we can form a strong international network, then that gives us a much bigger lobby throughout the world.
I can see why this combination of a relaxed environment and, as I say, the subtle mixture of politics, solidarity and glorious music and activity in the music and dancing and so on, how it works as something that gives you a sense of enjoyment, well-being and commitment, those three together.
Un gran abrazo.